Hello. Give me a few more seconds.
There's a dude down the street with his old washboard. Washboard Jim, he got a sneaky snake. Goes boom, boom, boom. Goes boom, boom, boom. Goes boom, boom, boom. Sneaky snake. Goes boom, boom, boom. Goes boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Sneaky snake.
Well, I'm Washboardjim. I'm starting this for the 6th time this morning, and I'm going to get it right. I better make sure I have my mic on. That's been the big issue. Oh yeah, she's on. So I hope you heard the music, but I want to go through a kind of a different kind of video today and just kind of ease people's minds. I done a video earlier about the 3 white soldiers. I'd appreciate it if you go back and watch it, and 3 black crows, and that's one of my leading indicators when I recognize that we're overbought and we need some kind of consolidation. And I'm going to show you the chart that's going to ease your mind and know what we're getting into. A lot of people, they're lost, you know, they just keep making the same mistake over and over again. I've made a few of them myself, and that's how I've learned. So no matter what president or event we're in, we were bound for a correction. This is a bearish indicator, but also a leading bull indicator. But you always got a consolidation, and these are called soldiers, and this is on a yearly time frame. So you have like 2 soldiers in a year of consolidation, 3 soldiers in a year of consolidation, 2 soldiers in a year of consolidation, 3 soldiers in a year of consolidation, 3 soldiers with a year of consolidation. Now that we have this war, that was the excuse after the 3rd soldier to bring this market down. I've been calling overbought all year long, plus some last year, and started preparing for this pullback. So I was ready for it because I know what to look for. 3 white soldiers is a bearish pattern, consolidation after the next year. The proof is in the pudding, and history repeats itself. So let's give this a shot. Now, I've had a hard time with this microphone, but I'm going to go ahead and just leave it on, and I hope it doesn't fuzz out the music. If it does, kind of let me know on the microphone, and I'll shut that mic off. This is the video, yearly candlesticks, support off that wick, 153, fat cats want 150. Three white soldiers, consolidation, three white soldiers, white soldiers, hammer, inverted hammer, possible reversal sign, still bearish. We could pull back and be a very strong buy here off his 3 soldiers we have here. Amazon. You got Apple. Now, I'm going to show you something here about Apple. What a tweezer bottom is. Buy signal, we got 3 white soldiers. Pulled back to tweezer bottom of that previous candle 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. So that could be a buy signal right there. And this is Apple. And if you notice Apple on the 5-day last week, it was a pretty good little trade. But we pulled back here to a tweezer bottom. Tweezer bottoms are bullish. Tweezer bottom, 3 white soldiers. Tweezer bottom, 3 white soldiers. Tweezer bottom, we could extend up. But we're bearish. Until this war is over and it's decided, we got freedom, to go through that, whatever their Hamas or whatever that place is. But we're dealing with terrorists. And they've been terrorists for over 50 years. They were a democracy, and there's my phone. So I'll just have to, I got to see, could be important. Always clean? No, thank you. Okay. Netflix.
Backouts and rips.
Tweezer bottom.
Backouts and rips.
3 white soldiers.
Back out.
Raising
Backouts and
prices.
rips.
Bullish.
Backouts and rips.
Inverted hammer.
Backouts and rips.
Bullish.
Breakouts and rips. Buying the dips. 3 black holes in the market scripts. Bull flag waving. Profit saving. Washboardjim keeps the trade winds blazing. Breakouts and rips. Buying the dips. 3 black holes in the market scripts. Bull flag waving. Profit saving. Washboardjim keeps the trade winds blazing. He teaches dummies, yeah,
Lawsuit
you and
going
me, how to ride the waves of the S&P, moving averages, patterns bold, the man.
They were pumping the heck out of this. Who in the hell pumps a stock? I'm talking about the fat cats. After 3 great years. This thing was way overbought. Way overbought. It needed this pullback, and there's your indicator, the 3 white soldiers. I'd like to see a 50% pullback at 246 and hold around that area.
He's got wisdom worth its weight in gold. He don't stress, he don't shout. Jim
3
knows
white
what it's all
soldiers.
about. Yeah.
On the yearly candlestick, pulled back to support. Pull up, this is the yearly. Pull up the weekly. We got what you call a yin yang, solid support. I called this trade out. This thing can pull back and bounce off the 63 or have a nice takeoff right around 132.64 is where I got my alert set. But we could bounce off the 63. So we got to keep that in mind. Now this has had one heck of a run. $7.28, one of the biggest pumps out there, to $207. Why it run up so good is because he had a change of attitude. He's very eccentric, the guy that runs this company, but he also all of a sudden become very patriotic. And I think that caused this stock to have a good bounce. In my opinion, because I couldn't stand the guy at first. He really pissed me off about 8-9 years ago. PLTR, he said, my stock ain't worth buying. Now he's saying, buy it, buy it, buy it. But that's PLTR.
Backouts and rips. Backouts and rips. Breakouts and rips. Buying the dips. 3 black holes in the market scripts. Bull flag waving. Profit saving. Washboardjim keeps the trade winds blazing. Breakouts and rips. Buying
Take it to the yearly or the weekly. You got a quad bottom. So you got a quad bottom here. Real solid support for Meta. I'd watch Meta come Monday and see if we can get some kind of little dead cat bounce on that. We have 3 black crows running into a quad bottom. I mean, if you count to 4, you can make a little bit more with Bobo. Jimmy. AMD is one of my favorite trades. This is my no-brainer trade every morning. I love trading AMD. And it's a little overbought. I mean, so I want to go to a different time frame. This is not telling me too much. I know that this is an inverted hammer, and that's bullish. And we bounced off the 200. That's bullish on the daily. The 200 SMA is a leading indicator for institutional buyers to get in the trade, to find a pivot point of support and resistance levels. Right now we're bullish because we're above the 200. We got a nice lead out candle here of a long leg doji. We've got a fallen wedge with a big mouth on it. As long as you hold the 200, you're still bullish. Take it to the 63. Resistance, 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 and resistance. So if we have like a bad red day, see if it holds that support at 196, 86, 196 area, 196, 197, and bounce off that 200 and run it back up a little bit. Get about $5 or $6 out of it, maybe Monday. Meta or AMD.
Out some reps.
3 white soldiers, consolidation. 3 white soldiers, consolidation. See what I'm trying to get across in this video? Be at ease. This was bound to happen no matter what event, no matter what president. It just kind of added fuel to the fire, which made it more positive to take the puts. 3 white soldiers, again, is a leading indicator of bullishness, but you're going to have a consolidation period in any time frame. And I usually exit the trades on the 3rd soldier, and people, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm saying, well, be my guest. Go ahead and hold it. And don't cry to me when you get stuck. But also, don't cry to me when I call the bounce and you don't take it. Some of these stocks have really lost it. Like here's one that's really took a beating. NVIDIA with a tweezer top. They weren't woke, and now they're broke. Nobody can figure that out, but I know. What the hell's wrong with these companies? Getting into politics. You're screwing half of your client base. I own 2 businesses. I never talk politics with my customers. Never. Unless they bring it up. And then I keep my mouth shut. I act like an independent, which I am. I was a Democrat, but not no more. I'm talking politics because I can't stand Biden. So this one here, that's what happens. And they lost out through innovation. That cushion shoe started coming in, a lot more comfortable. I love them. I mean, I got Brooks. I will never go back to anything else. They're the most comfortable shoe I've ever put on my foot. I never did like Nike anyway. I couldn't, they just didn't fit right. I had Converse when I was a kid, when I played basketball. So, let's get into a little bit more of this. We got Pawn, P-A-N-W is one that I really like to watch. We got a Doji here. Now we've got a tweezer bottom. So this is a buy signal. We have a triple bottom. What price is this at? $147. So this looks good. This looks real decent. If it holds that triple bottom, see with that wick? You got the two body conformation. That's called a triple bottom, and that's a doji. If I'd have saw that doji, I would have definitely got in the puts. I don't think I pulled this up, but that's bearish. You got buyers and sellers undecided. And then the media just over and over and over and over and over and over, no matter what was going on, was finally coming out and saying we're overbought, which we were way in advance because of their hate Trump syndrome. Now, they used to have Trump. I remember when I was trading 15, 20 years ago, Trump was on CNBC every week. He was their housing authority guy, and they loved him. They loved him. But now we're trying to stop the fraud. They don't care for him that much. So 145.65. Solid support. The reversal on target was only one reason only. Here's another one that went woke. These are on the yearly time frame. So we came back and we had a tweezer bottom. Along with that tweezer bottom, they got a new CEO. Target has a huge problem with shoplifting. Target has a problem with growing, and Target has a problem with promotion. They were promoting woke and the devil in the main entrance of their store. Guys were going in there wearing these women and men bikinis, these she-he bikinis that had a little tuck down there for your penis, running around the store in there. Made a spectacle of Target. But with the new CEO, you could have some changes.
Opening bell.
You got to keep up on the news. Just don't trade technical analysis. Be in the now. Be in the now.
Here's the sound that makes it go
Right
down.
soldiers consolidation.
Sneaky snake, chart pattern,
Blue white soldiers
moving
consolidation.
averages, and being
Shop.
in the now. Being in the now.
Three white soldiers.
Jimmy eating salads and sipping
Three
chai
white
tea.
soldiers.
Checking out the cleavage on Schwab TV.
Three white soldiers.
Magnificent hair
white soldiers consolidation. Next time, through your trading career, or even as now in smaller time frames, remember the 3 white soldiers. You got to consolidate after that 3rd soldier. You're going to have parabolic runs no matter what every once in a while. And it's got to be either a real bad pullback that happened, big bad knife in that day, or it's got to have real good news. And I don't think there's anything out there that has real good news. But maybe like Target, that got a new CEO after being thrown in the gutter under the bus for 4 years of selling she-he bikinis. Do we have any she-he's in here? Please raise your hand. 3 white soldiers.
Rob and Randy, Livid Goose, Rich Nixon, Michelle and Funky, stingy with his grades. We got a lot to prove. Patience is the key for Gamma Jama Moo.
So here's snow. Here's another pump that they've been pumping in CRCW and CMG. So I got to take this to a different, you can see the consolidated area, like we're at a support. And we just broke below a triple bottom on the daily. Yeah, this was way overbought. I mean, you should hear me when I was screaming overbought. Everything's overbought. Nobody would listen. People still holding their stocks, losing money right and left. I'm saying, people, man, realize what overbought means. It doesn't have to do with fundamentals. I think technical traders are much better traders than fundamental traders by far. By far. Fundamentals don't mean crap if you're not in the now. I got stuck in so many trades trying to be a fundamental trader. I just give it up. I give it up. All I needed to know is if they had cash and just read up on the news and watch a few analysts. I watch TV live when I'm trading for basically 2 reasons. To be the devil's advocate and to know how people are thinking. And usually these are institutional buyers or swing traders on fundamental analysis. And I've caught them in so many lies, so many triple top call outs, over and over and over and over. 1,000 times, 999 times, they never work out of 1,000. They usually pull back. And then you take the trade. You're still bullish, but you want to buy that dip. And I know a lot of successful traders that buy the dip. That's what I started with, and that's what I'll never buy a breakout until that thing pulls back to one of my moving averages.
Whose opening bell is the sound that makes it go down. Sneaky snake, chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now, being in the now.
Tweezer bottom, breakout. Double bottom, breakout. Failed the triple bottom. We got 3 black crows with a harmony. That could be a bullish signal on Home Depot. we got spring coming in. It's always been like a spring trade. So I'm bullish on Home Depot. I got to go to a different time frame. We're almost to a consolidated support after 5 years at 313, 315. So I got my alert set. Take this trade 316.96 to be alerted and try to catch the tweezer bottom. We had tweezer top, pull back to the previous resistance and bounce probably. Now we're down here. So this could be a solid buy. Home Depot. Pull up them yearly candlesticks and go back as far as you want. The moral of the story is history repeats itself, and you could ease your mind knowing that we had 3 white soldiers and we got to consolidate. 3 white soldiers and consolidated with a tweezer top. Pull back. Now we had a tweezer bottom, tweezer top, tweezer bottom. Still bullish. Still bullish. I'm waiting. Inverted hammer. Bullish. Cat. Now that looks a little overbought. Trump's coming out telling these cats that they need to bring these tractors' price down for these farmers. They're too expensive. Only certain farmers are getting them, the ones with the big crops, and they're taking all the load. We got to bring it down for the middle class, so we can afford 30 acres, and go out and farm your 30 acres. I got 30 acres. If I could go out and buy a tractor, I'd plow that sucker up and grow cannabis. Get a license, but I'm getting too old. I don't know if I want to take that route. I turned 65 this year. Look beautiful. Feeling good. Exercise, take care of myself. So I'm going to put in a support level right off this wick. That's how I set that trade up. If I can get that down there to 629, and I'm going to set another alert just right above it, right at 650. That's, 650. Let me get closer. Okay, well, I think that kind of wraps it up a little bit. Let's do a couple more charts off the top of my head. People are talking about Microsoft.
Buying the pullbacks, riding rockets and rips, protecting our assets, pouncing on the dips, market maker shakeouts, standing our ground, waiting on our...
I really got pissed off on this one. I really got pissed off with the fat cats on this one. 3 white soldiers, consolidated year. 3 white soldiers. This thing's going to 650. We're taking this to $700. I'm going, you idiots. We just had 3 white soldiers. We're going to pull back. Buy puts. If you bought puts with Bobo, you would have done very well. Reason number 2. I never trade this piece of crap. I can't stand Bill Gates. I can't stand him. Fat cats don't care. They don't care that he poisoned his wife. They don't care that he was playing with little kids.
Setups to capture our crown. Stingy with his
I won't trade it no matter what. Because I have moral fiber.
grades. We got a lot to prove. Patience is the key for Gamma Ma Jama moves. Open and bell. Here's the sound that makes you go down. Sneaky snake. Charge patterns.
3 black crows.
Moving averages and
A possible buy. Lulu had the huge breakout. Can anybody tell me why? COVID. People could work from home. It changed the whole environment of the workforce. I think it was done on purpose because the government employees are spoiled brats. They make big salaries and they get to work from home and do nothing. I know for a fact that's it. That's truth. Because I work with them. Never did like Chipotle. Support level at 27.77. They make some of the worst food I've ever ate in my life. CMG. I think that's it. Anybody have any questions in YouTube? Not all of them, though they're trying to be. They got some sneaky stuff going on. I know for a fact that there's a home study going on now that people are working from home in some of these government agencies to submit a report to say that we get as much work done when we work from home than we do when we're at work. So I know that for a fact. This has been going on for a couple months. No, I don't think Bill Gates is still running it. UPS, anybody have any questions on YouTube? Spit them out. Okay, now see, UPS is a buy signal. So let me show you how to chart this up. There's a couple things you got to keep in mind. The reason for the pullback is because we had 3 white soldiers. We had a tweezer bottom. This is on the yearly. Then we had a tweezer top. I don't think it had anything to do with anything. A lot of companies are doing their own shipping. Amazon, which took away a lot of that money from UPS. So it kind of become a no-brainer. We're definitely at a solid support. We got a tweezer bottom here and a tweezer bottom here. This is on the yearly. So I'm going to take a price line and I'm going to run it on the bottom of that candle right there. The lowest one. Right on the body of that candle. And that matches up with that one. A little bit higher. We had 3 white soldiers and 4 black crows. Now we've got an inverted hammer. So it's getting ready to squeeze to the upside. So I want to take it, that's the yearly. I want to take it to the weekly. And I want to see if any of these are pulled back to my moving averages. So we had a big long sell-off. We got the breakout. So we have a snake set up. Anybody that knows how I trade, I developed a strategy called the sneaky snake trading strategy. So I'm going to chart it up on the weekly as a big long snake. We have an inverse head and shoulders. We have the left shoulder, right shoulder, right shoulder, right shoulder. We have a triple bottom after the head. So we broke out. Take this to the right. After every breakout, you're going to pull back to the previous resistance. This is a triple top breakout. You have one body, two body, and three bodies. So that's a triple top breakout. You have confirmations of wicks. Wick, wick, only two wicks. So once it breaks out, you don't take the trade unless you're a good trader. And we're at a solid support right here. So in my strategy, we have an inverse head and shoulders. So we got a head and shoulders here and an inverse head and shoulders here. We have the left shoulder and the right shoulder and the right shoulder. On the inverse head and shoulders strategy, you pull back to the previous resistance and you hit that right shoulder the second time, which is a strong buy signal. So you want to run it up. This is on the weekly. You want to run it up to the shoulder line of this head and shoulders. So you take a price line and we consolidated above the 63 EMA. So the target for this stock would be to the 63 at 105 or up here to that right shoulder line at 108. And then come back down and retest. I would see if you can get in this thing a little bit cheaper, if you're able to, and above that line. And I'd read it on the news, and basically we just got to wait. You're at a solid support is what I'm trying to say. But UPS is not a leading market indicator anymore like it used to be, because they've developed different ways of shipping. Does that make sense? That was a pretty good illustration of my strategy. And great dividend. So you're at a solid support. Let's go to the yearly. I was just using the weekly. Let's go to the daily. See, it can drop more. But if we hold that snake right around 93, I think you can start bouncing it up. As long as we stay above this white line, you're still bullish in the trade. But see, you got the 200 SMA, and we went below the 200 SMA. So you got to run it back up to the 200. It's bearish right now on the daily. But if it come down here and hit this spot right here, I think it could run back up and hit the 200. I'm a little iffy on it, but you're definitely setting yourself up. I wouldn't take my eye off of it, and I would keep my eye on the news. Any more questions? Can you look at HIMS? SMCI has bad news. more. They just keep coming up with that fraudulent shit. Go to the yearly candlestick. It's not telling me much. It's telling me that we're at a pivot point at 1911. This is called a cloud of the 9 and the 21 EMA. And inside of it, I got a pivot point. Look at that, right to it. See that? 2 cents off. And we had to bounce. So I'd see if it retraced the bottom, set an alert right above 20 bucks. I got it 20.25. That'd be a double bottom. Bring that alert up just a little bit so you can catch that double bottom. 20.59. And then Hims is one that had bad news and then kind of got corrected. Go to the yearly. We're definitely below support. Now let me see. We're breaking support. Use that body of that candle, not the wick, and use the wick on the yearly, but use that previous body. So that's what we got to break. What? Oh, God. What did I do wrong? Oh, I didn't do nothing wrong. We're down here. That's what we did wrong. I'd wait for a pullback. I'm using the 1 hour time frame. I think I'd wait for a pullback on Hims. No lower than 1767. Set an alert above at 18. Set an alert above at 18 or above it. I did, didn't I? Oh, boy. Well, there's an extra one. That's Hims. What the heck's going on here? It is Hims. It was Hims. What's HIMZ? That's the same freaking chart. Oh, this is cheaper. Yeah, no, I had hymns on there. I don't know why the X come up. Yeah, 1677. That's the same chart I was just looking at earlier, but it had X. Oh, okay, I got you. This one's cheaper. 783. I must be watching that one there. So on this, I still set the alert at 18. HIMZ. Yeah, it's the same damn chart. I put HIMX in there. You might do better on that HIMX. HIMZ. I'm going to set the alert right here where this line is. I might trade it with you. 1850. Set your alert at 1850 on HIMZ. And is there any more? There's another one on that list. IWM. I know a lady, FU Money Club, named Milky, that's a specialist. Right now we're looking at a Head and Shoulders. I got a low support, so we're going to take this up to the year. Take it up to the weekly. Now on the weekly time frame, I like this better. I called this trade out in her room. We have a Head and Shoulders, left shoulder, right shoulder on the weekly time frame. And we pulled back to that right shoulder. And then we pulled back to that right shoulder again. So we're set up with a harmony. As long as we hold 240, we're still bullish in this trade. So that would be where I'd set my strong buy. If we had like a little pullback, a little knife, another red day, I think that would be a good spot to really make good money. Because you see we retested that right shoulder, and we retested it again. So this is prompt, to be very bullish here. I'd walk into the week being bullish. Any knife would be a buy. Okay, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and shut this off. I wish everybody a great trading week. Go back and watch the previous video on this one, and you'll really get an ease of mind. I illustrated it in this one too. The three white soldiers. And a consolidation after the 3 white soldiers on the yearly any time frame. But it's still a bullish indicator. It's just you got to consolidate. You just can't run up 3 years in a row and not have a period of consolidation. This has nothing to do with the war. It helps it. It gives more confirmation to go ahead and buy the puts. But it was going to happen anyway. Might not be as drastic, but it was going to happen. So I'm out of here. Y'all take care.